Hi, good morning everyone. No energy. Didn't have breakfast? Okay, great. Before diving into the presentation, we'll discuss what's the basic engineering flow we follow in engineering before launching of any vehicle. We do the conceptualization, making prototype, testing. In case of any issues, redesign, retesting, and then launching. The most crucial part is the time. Okay, so we'll not waste any time. We'll start with our presentation. So, what is time management? It's a basic practice which we follow for planning and organizing our activities to make the best use of time. Okay, to enhance performance. How we can do that? By creating talking in terms of by creating more detailed schedules using project management tools. So basic question to all of the teams: how many of you use any project management tool? Anyone? Have you heard of Kanban board? No one? Trello? Great. So you can note it down. You can use Kanban board in your workshop. You can create a one on Blackboard or anything like that. Or there's a free tool available, Trello. You can use it for managing your detailed schedule throughout the event perspective. Why it is important? If you will manage time by submitting reports on time, by manufacturing your vehicle on time, you'll get ample amount for testing and talking about the phase two, you'll get much time for preparations. Yeah. So talking about the benefits of time management. First of all, work output. If you will do a great, if you have made a detailed project schedule, project in terms of your Baha vehicle, consider it of as a project. Consider your Baha vehicle as a project, and by creating, uh, sorry, by managing time, by effectively allowing your team to create a detailed project plan, you can assess time. For example, regarding the reports of phase two, talking about any specific date. Suppose you have to submit PPT on 15th. So always take buffer time of some days. Keep it ready. If the submission is on 15th, keep it ready before 10 or 8. This will allow you to get ample time for checking if there's any issue with the PPTs, with your presentation and everything. Prioritizing tasks. Uh, at this stage, I don't think any one of you will be more into testing your vehicle. Your focus now is for how to perform well in phase two. That is the static events, cost, sales, each and everything. If you properly manage your time, definitely you'll build a quality vehicle with uh, almost no issues, and definitely you'll get the promised results. Okay, so what's the difference between being productive and keeping busy? Being productive, you can set some goals, you can set standard deadline for that. कि ठीक है, this much time I have to finish this task. Keeping busy, it's a sign of poor team management, wherein we can see there is a team strength of 30 members, but only 3 to 4 are working, and they are working in each and every domain for recruiting, for preparation of phase 1, for preparation of phase 2, and for manufacturing vehicle, for sponsorship, marketing, each and everything. But it will eventually degrade the quality of your vehicle and your delivery. So, how to delegate the task, the importance and urgent. So, from any one of you, what's the difference between importance and urgency? Important and urgent task. Can anyone define? Okay, great. So, important tasks are those which helps or delivers they carry value, but they deliver importance in the long term for delivering the project. Okay. On the other hand, urgent urgent tasks are those which requires immediate attention. So talking about the Eisenhower matrix, suppose you are at the event site on day one, you are standing at the registration bay. So first task on the quadrant which is urgent and important, registration and your readiness for the TI event, correct? Second quadrant, tasks which are important but not urgent. It's the planning. It's your planning on how you're planning for attempting the dynamic events, validation events, endurance events. Talking about the quadrant 3, tasks which are not important but urgent. Fuel in your fuel tank, because for first and second day you will not require any fuel. You will need it on the day third. Tasks which are not important, not urgent. Social media updates from your side. So to achieve success, to get the most out of your vehicle, you must clearly define your goals and objectives right after the event ends for the next event. How will you achieve that? From the initiation of the event, you'll have to create a list, a task list, or a detailed project plan for each of the team members involved in your team. Then again, identify what is important and what is urgent at that instant wherever you are standing. Yeah, differentiate tasks with the similar priorities and always be flexible and adaptable to changes. There may be several instances which you guys have faced while testing your vehicle, sudden breakdowns or breakdown with like major breakdowns with gearbox or sometimes with engines. So how will you eliminate what have you done wrong last year? How many teams have team manager or event coordinator in their team? Okay. So the team manager concept, team manager is the one who is the most senior person in the team and carries the most experience. He will be there. He will not be the captain. Like he can be the captain or vice captain or anyone, but his pure role will be to guide the new team members. He knows the strengths and weaknesses of the teams from his past experiences. So it will be his sole responsibility to prepare the detailed project plan, to prepare a task list, a detailed task list. He is the one who carries the vision of the team, and most critical, he will be there for you in any of the problems you are facing. So you must introduce a team manager or event coordinator in your teams as well. So here is a basic team segregation. You guys can use, or might be there be chances ki, you guys would be having your own. So till phase one, there's a recruiting team of senior team members. Then there's an R&D department whose responsibility is all the doing all the designs, the benchmarking of your subsystems, DFMEA and PFMEA before getting into the uh, preparation of phase one. There must be a training department because what we have observed mostly that the knowledge transfer from senior team members to juniors is not that good. Some teams are performing very great and then suddenly their performance downgrades. So there's only a responsibility, or yeah, or we can say only drawback is knowledge transfer. Then vehicle designing of subsystems like steering, suspension, drivetrain, brakes, and roll cage. After phase one, you can create other departments. For example, static. So there will be particular members from your team who will be looking after sales, cost, design, CA, go-green, and innovation events. Virtual dynamic event. You guys will be using IPG car makers for track designing, vehicle validation, and the dynamic team, which will carry the machining part, the fabrication part, manufacturing of the vehicle, track construction, and the pit crews. So this is the technical part. Coming on to the non-technical part, it is financials. We all, we all need finance for manufacturing a vehicle. Okay, but how or where will it come from? In case if your college is sponsoring, it's great. But in what if in case your college is not giving you funds? So we'll take it in another slide. All the managerial works, the admin works, media, sponsorship, and safety. You can consider this as a basic project plan. Okay? It consists of 5 stages and 5 milestones. Stage 1 consists of interviews, task submission. So, right after the event ends, all the teams must organize a lesson learned meeting in which you will define what went right, what went wrong, and things to improve for the upcoming event. So, phase 1 generally consists of that thing, team formations, creating all the departments, understanding the knowledge transfer sessions, as I mentioned earlier, and assigning roles and responsibilities. So it generally lasts for a month to 30 days to 45 days. Coming on to the second stage, which consists of setting designing goals, data acquisition and calculation, okay, for your upcoming vehicle, mock designs for phase one, analysis, CAD modeling, final design analysis, and preparation for preliminary round. So it starts right away after the registration till the phase one. Stage three consists of it starts after the phase one. It consists of creating a PVC mock structure, sponsorship and marketing. It's the most important thing. Like I mentioned earlier, you guys will be knowing how much you need, but where will it come from? Okay. Material procurement and material testing and manufacturing phase 1 and assembly. Then stage 4 consists of vehicle testing, preparation of static and VD events, revising, revising and rectifying the whatever issues you are facing in your vehicle, and manufacturing of pending items, what you guys left after the phase 1. The last stage and the most critical, which generally starts before a month, training of the pit members, like who will be working on changing which parts and their practice to, and how can they achieve it more efficiently in less time but more efficiently. Working on spare part assemblies and final event preparation before going on to event, and then vehicle shipping and event. So coming on to the sponsorship strategies, like you guys will be knowing how much fund you need, but again same question, where will it come from? The alumni of your team, they all the alumni who got placed, like sponsorship can be in cash or in kind. Your alumni can contribute, or the training and placement cell of your college, the corporate and non-corporate organizations, networking and collegiate events. So all of the college must be hosting events. So if any of the food stall guy is coming, So you can ask him also for the sponsorship. Might be he will not support you in cash, but definitely he can support you in some kind. So always be open to sponsorship and work on the sponsorship around the year, because you will need fund throughout the year, and apart from fund you need like many of the college seniors give toolkits to their new team and something like that. So yeah, phase two is around the corner. November 1st to 30, you'll have to submit all the reports for all the static events and IPG model submission. December 1st, we'll start with press conference and inauguration, followed by CA event and go green event. On December 2nd, we'll have cost and sales event and maneuverability for vehicle dynamic. On December 3rd, the last day, we'll continue with design evaluation, innovation event, and alternate performance. So this is a tentative timeline of BAJA SAEINDIA 2024, which we'll be having in January. On day one, we'll start with registration, inauguration, technical evaluation, validation event, sales, and innovation final. Many of the teams don't even attempt TI on the very first day. They might be engaged in some assembly activities or something like that, that they just waste their time by not attempting the TI on day one. We'll be having TI for 3 days, day first, second, and third. So you must prepare well in advance. Whenever you reach event site, the first thing to do after the registration is go and line up for the technical event, technical evaluation. Many of the teams come for their first attempt on day three due to very silly reasons. So you guys must be well prepared in advance. Please practice all the assembling on the sub parts, the brake, suspension, each and everything. Like there should not be any last minute surprises when you come to the event site. So during the physical event, this is a normal process: registration, TI, engine check, validation event, static final, brake test, and dynamic events. And dynamic events, we have acceleration, maneuverability, sled pull, SNT, rock crawl. So here comes the team manager's responsibility or event coordinator. He will be guiding, like if you don't want to attempt SNT, how many points you will lose and how can you cover those points with static events or by performing well in other dynamic events. So this all preparation must be done well in advance. Planning for endurance event. So fueling or battery swapping. This is based on the critical level. The very critical thing in endurance is fueling. Why completing vehicle before event, considering 30 or 40 days before is necessary, because you will get to know in testing what parts are failing, in how much fuel, uh, what how is your vehicle performing, how is your ATV performing, and how much time it is taking to use, like in case if you done full time, how much time your vehicle will run. So it is the most important part, most critical part you guys must be prepared for. Like there should not be any case that your vehicle is running very good on the event side and between the endurance track the fuel goes off. Same case goes with the battery swapping. So fuel checks must be handy. Battery management and swapping techniques you should have trained. So Acropolis team of the Indore has done a battery swapping and they have done tremendous, like very good job with that. So it all depends on the practice and managing your time well. Then comes the second point, driver. Communicating with the driver is also important. Like he'll get to know the status of the vehicle, the ranking in the endurance event, and how is the health of vehicle. He will be able to convey that to the team. The last point is vehicle spares. So to avoid any last minute surprises on the endurance and the final day, you must be handy with all the critical spare parts you guys should have faced issue with during your testing, and practice for changing the parts must be done. Okay, so this is the basic cycle. Just after the event ends, you guys must conduct a lesson learned meeting. Lesson learned meeting consists of what went right, what went wrong, things to improve for next year, setting goals and objectives, then followed by team formation, uh, setting objectives and goals, defining the timeline. Defining the timeline in the way you can use project management tools such as Gantt chart. You can create one in Excel as well. The DFMA, you can start with initial designs, opinions of the team members, and creating a PVC mock model, design finalization for roll cage or gearbox subsystems, other subsystems as well. Then you should start with the fabrication and phase two preparations, which includes the static events, submission and testing, then attending the phase two, which is next to next month. After the phase two, the preparations for phase three or the testing of your vehicle for endurance or other activities must start, and then final phase. So, thank you, and one more thing. While testing your vehicle, you guys, I don't know how many of you are doing, but make it a healthy habit to create or replicate the tracks of Baha and try to replicate it at your college site. You guys must be having some land or some testing area. So if you're not able to replicate the track, try to replicate the hurdles to test the behavior of your vehicle. So it will be very helpful during the event time, and must be you guys must be able to gain more marks. So yeah, thanks.